Hello. Sorry I'm a little later today. I'm quite busy, I assure you. We're starting. Right. Interpreters are ready, and we'll begin the homework. There we go. Hi. Okay. Who wants to read number one? Hong Sun does, I can tell.
Yeah. Yes,
Кто
teacher.
хочет почитать первый вопрос?
Geshe Michael
Геша
say that
Чикаго говорит,
the brief essentials of the instruction are combined
короткая
within
инструкция
five powers.
про
Name
5
these
сил.
five powers
Назовите 5
and
сил
explain
и опишите
them
кратко.
briefly. Tibetan track name in
На
Tibetan and
тибетском
explain in
и
English.
опишет на тибетском.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, there's
Спасибо.
more than one five powers. I remember
Здесь
when I learned this
будет
one.
есть больше 5. Я помню, как
And they're
я
awesome.
это
They are
изучаю, это
real
классно.
practice.
Это действительно
Basically, they
реально
are
практика.
anytime you move position,
Это
you
когда
think of the
вы
Dharma,
меняете
like
позицию,
your motivation,
вы
what
думаете
you're
о
doing,
Дharме, о своей мотивации, что вы
and all day you
делаете,
try to do good things
и
and
вы стараетесь
just
делать
destroy any of
как можно хороших дел
bad thoughts or deeds
и
that you're doing
стараться
before they can multiply.
убрать все мысли
Let's
плохие
look at them.
и действия. Давайте, которые размножаются.
And they take you
Давайте
through your day
посмотрим,
too, so
что
it's
тут.
cool. Like when you get up to when you go to bed.
И также,
Hong
когда
Son, read.
утром встаешь, Оксан, читай.
Hong Son?
I'm sorry, I'm unmute. The five powers.
5 сил.
I read the like top nga.
Yeah, Tong. Good.
Yeah.
Say hi to Nga.
Nga. Nga.
Yeah, good. Nga means I. Nga means five or before. Okay. Read this.
A resolutions for the future when you wake up
Сила
each
решения
day,
будущего, когда вы
do
просыпаетесь
so
каждый день.
with the
Делайте это с
decision
решением, что не
that
будете
you
тратить
will
впустую
not
этот день,
waste this
или этот
day
год, или эту
or
жизнь,
this
а
year
лучше
or
посвятите
this life,
время
but
уничтожению врага
rather you
в заботу о
will
себе.
devote your time to destroying the enemy of cherishing yourself.
Yeah, exactly. So the first one they call pimpa, which means
Опа.
benefit. Does it mean benefit with the owl? Hold on, let me double check.
Давайте я
I'm just
проверю это.
making sure. Yeah, no. This means to throw. Excuse me. With this letter up front, it means to throw. Um, like project yourself into the future. Project or throw. That makes
Пойти
sense.
себя в
All
будущее.
right, go ahead. Hong.
Yes. Be
Следующее.
accustoming yourself in all your
Сила приучения
activities
себя
of
во
the
всех своих
day,
ежедневных делах.
whether you are working somewhere or standing or
Ежедневно, неважно,
sitting
гуляете ли
or
вы, стоите,
sleeping.
сидите или спите.
Think
Думайте
of
о
ways
способах, как
to
увеличить
increase
и
and
приучить себя к желанию
accustom
вожделения.
yourself to the wish for enlightenment?
Yeah, it's probably gom, right? Accustoming? Yay, gompa. Gom,
О,
gompa. It means to habituate or accustom. And this one,
Yeah, build
следующее.
white seeds,
pure.
pure white seeds.
Белые
Engage in
семена.
practice such as
Engage.
Сила чисто
engage
белых семян.
in practice
Занимайся
such
такими
as
практиками, как накопление значительной хорошей
amassing
кармы и
great
очищение себя от
good
негативной кармы, чтобы
karma
усилить ваши желания
and
и поступления.
purifying yourself of negative karma in order to increase the power of your wish for enlightenment.
Yeah, good. Yeah, carpo sabun. Uh, yeah, carpo means white, but here it means like virtue or
Карпа
goodness.
означает белый,
But
или
literally it's white,
кто-то
and
говорит
sabun is
как
seeds,
добродетель.
just like we always talk about.
Тот, у
It's
кого
one of
есть
the
семена.
main words for seeds or karmic
Это
seeds.
семена или
Yeah.
кармические семена.
Um, yeah. Just practice all day. I mean, the best practices are
Самая
studying
лучшая
emptiness,
практика — изучение
thinking about
пустоты,
emptiness,
думать о
meditating on
пустоте,
emptiness, or teaching
медитировать на
emptiness.
пустоту
Okay?
или
You can
обучать
pick one
пустоте.
of those. Or talking
Вы
about it with your
можете
friends at the
выбрать одно из
cafe
них.
in
Мы
Baltimore.
об этом говорили с друзьями в Балтиморе в кафе
Or wherever. All
или
right,
в
read this
Мексике.
one, Hong Song.
Destruction. Learn to brush the habit of twisting yourself quickly on the head whenever it might arise.
Bam!
Сила молитвы.
Don't actually hit yourself.
Сила разрушения. Научитесь пересекать
Sunjinpa.
привычку заботиться о себе
It
всякий раз,
literally
когда
means
она
to rip out.
возникает.
Okay. Why
То
do
есть,
they keep talking about cherishing yourself?
Сильно говорит, что... Почему он говорит заботиться о себе?
From
Все
the
время
first one to the
он
fourth
говорит.
one.
Well, why? Why cherishing
Почему в
yourself?
первый и в четвертый? Почему
Why
забота о
does that
себе?
matter?
Почему это... Что это значит?
Misunderstand about yourself.
No, that's different.
Первое,
That's different than cherishing.
понять себя.
It's
Нет, это
related,
другое.
but different. Why is
Это...
that relevant here?
Почему тут важно?
Your mic's acting weird, Mike. Try again.
Майк, можешь попробовать.
I can't hear you. I think it's the cafe noise.
Я не слышу,
You can
мне
put in the
кажется,
chat if you
это
want. Because we're doing
кафе шум.
low jung.
И
Low jung
мы
is
делаем
another word for
лоу-джонг.
sam
И,
ke
и
bodhicitta.
по-другому это будет
Okay.
семке, это бодхичитта.
Cherishing yourself is the opposite of bodhicitta. And it doesn't mean
Забота о себе — это
being nice to
противоположность
yourself
бодхичитты. Это не значит,
or
что
eating good
не
food or
нужно быть
something. It just
хорошим в себе,
means
или не есть хорошую еду и
over
так
all
далее.
things out, everything else or
Это
everyone else. You just care
все,
about yourself,
просто
right?
прежде чем думать о других, вы думаете о себе.
That's what's
Вот
stopping
это
you
вот
from Buddhahood.
означает. И это то,
You
что
can
остановит
cherish
вас
yourself
в
and be an
мудрости.
arhat.
Вы можете заботиться о себе и быть
Okay.
архатом.
You have to understand emptiness perfectly,
Вы
but
должны
you can be an
понимать
arhat.
пустоту хорошо, чтобы быть архатом.
Okay. Last one. Hong.
Хорошо, следующий.
Yes. Prayer.
Молитва.
Pray as you lay down to sleep at night,
Молитва,
that all
чтобы
your goodness of the day
сила
might
молитвы, когда
be
вы ложитесь спать ночью,
dedicated to
молитесь, чтобы все ваши
increasing
добрые дела за день
the
были
two
посвящены усилению
forms
двух форм
of
желаний,
the wish for
просветлению в вашем
enlightenment
уме.
within your own mind.
Yeah, what do we call this in our tradition?
Что мы говорим?
Yeah, Mike's doing it right now. You drinking a coffee? Is it a coffee?
Майк, ты пьешь кофе?
Rejoice, Mike. Yeah, this is coffee
Радуйся, Майк.
meditation. Okay.
Это кофе
At
медитации.
night we
Ночью мы
dedicate and we rejoice.
посвящаем
You can do it all day
радость.
too, but it's especially
Вы
powerful
можете это
before bed.
делать
And that's
Но лучше
which just
это
means
делать перед сном.
prayer in Tibetan.
Также мы называется тибетская
Okay, good job,
молитва.
Hong-sun.
Хорошая
What
работа,
questions are there?
Фонсо. Сколько тут вопросов интересно?
7, but they're short at the
7.
end. All right, I'll do 3 on my own. Here we go.
Давайте
Ooh, this is
перейдем.
the best ever.
Начнем.
What
Это
what
самое
what
лучшее.
were the words that Geshe Chikawa
Какие
blurted
слова
out
Геши
as he lay
Чикава
near death?
перед смертью говорил?
Angels! All I see is
Вопил.
angels!
Все, что видел ангелов.
Paradise! Why?
Э,
Paradise!
Почему рай?
So Geshe Chikawa, who
Геши
was
Чикава.
yeah, good job, Mike. Who was Lojong master,
Майк
okay?
хорошо работал. Он
On
был
his deathbed,
мастером ладжанга.
he's trying to go to hell.
Хотел попасть в ад.
There's infinite beings in hell who need me.
Но
I'm going to hell
я
as a
пойду
bodhisattva. And he tried so
в ад.
hard
Я бодхисаттва старался со всех сил,
to go to hell.
чтобы
And
пойти в ады.
Sorry. Turn off this chat preview. He's trying to go to hell, and
Хотел
he
попасть
can't
в
because
ады,
of
он не
course
мог.
the karma of being a
Карма,
bodhisattva your whole life and
чтобы
teaching the
быть
lojong to
бодхисаттвой
I don't
и
know
обучать ладжонгу
thousands of
и
people, I guess,
тысячи
is
человек.
you're not going to hell, and wanting to go
Ты
to
не
hell to
пойдешь
help
в ад.
people is the exact thing that's going to get you into heaven.
Это
Project you into
обучать
paradise.
этому, это, конечно же, пойти в
It's
рай.
fine. We'll get to it. Obviously, carrying out his own advice and performing the practice of transferring his consciousness in the
Это
tradition of the greater
относится
way, he yelled out, I was praying that I could pass on to the lowest hell for the sake
собственно, этого поняли
of
практику
helping
переноса
every living
сознания
being.
Кола,
It's not
традиции великого
working.
путем ключа я
I
молился,
can't
чтобы ему прийти в
go.
ниши ад ради
All I
помощи
can
живым
see
существам. Это
before me
не
now is
работает.
the
Я не могу
paradise
уйти,
of
лучше, что вижу
enlightenment.
сейчас перед собой, это рай просветления.
All right. True Lojong master. He's upset. He's
Это
getting
он действительно мастер ладжонга
I don't know why it says
расстроен из-за
nga.
того,
It should
что
be nge.
произошло.
Nge semchen tamche ki dun for the sake of for the sake of all sentient beings. De narme de dro wo. I want to go to the lowest hell.
Я хочу пойти в самые низкие ады.
Munpar Jekyang. I'm begging, I'm praying. Please let me
Я
go to the lowest hell.
молюсь,
Kyang.
я молюсь, чтобы попасть в низшие ады. Но
It's not working. I'm not
это не
going.
работает. Я не могу.
Tak Shingi Nangwa Shachung. All I see is heaven in front of
То,
me.
что я вижу, это такой рай передо мной.
All right. That won't be me. All right. I'll be like, get the hell out
Это
of here.
это я. Хорошо, давай. Я же давно хотела уйти.
Sorry, y'all. I gotta go.
Это давай, извините, но я должна идти.
I'll project. I'll emanate.
Я эманирую.
I
Я
forgot number
эманирую и так
2.
далее.
Lynn, you read it.
Лин, читай.
Lynn.
I'm so sorry. My hair is so noisy.
Okay.
Okay, thank you. Yes. The two lines that come next in the root stick are in the root way.
Какие следующие строки в исходном тексте таковы? На великом пути эти 5 наставлений для проявления вашего ума. Почитай это действие. Назовите духовную практику, к которой относятся эти строки, а затем кратко объясните каждое слово этих двух строк.
That's fine. Good. Yeah, the 2 lines that come next in the root text are, in the great way, these same 5 are the advices for sending your
Великом пути
mind
эти 5
cherishing.
наставлений для направления вашего ума. Почитай это действие.
They refer to Poa. which is in question 3. I skipped question 2. Read this, Win.
Yes, this refers to how one should perform the practice of transferring one's consciousness, power, and sending one's mind into death. The Bodhisattva's way, the great way of performing this practice is higher than any other way and involves the same 5 powers, but with a new sense to each of them as follows.
Yeah, I'll read it. Thanks. Yeah, Poa. Poa means to transfer your consciousness to usually to a Buddha paradise at the end of life, okay? So now the first power is still resolutions for the future. How do you say that in Tibetan?
Penpa?
Yay! It's Pempa. To project. Good job, Panitova. Deciding that as you die and further on in the intermediate state and elsewhere, you will never lose the attitude of the wish for enlightenment. Nice. Accustom yourself. Tibetan?
Pompam.
Kompa. Good. This is the most important of all, to be so accustomed to thinking as a bodhisattva that as you die, you continue to have constant thoughts about wishing to reach enlightenment for the sake of others. You have to do this. All right? I don't know. I used to work in this store selling Chinese medicine. And there was a big acupuncture school in that town, Santa Cruz, California. And many of the students from the acupuncture school would come in, and some teachers and stuff. Anyway, I met everybody and everything, and once in a while people come in, I would talk to them about, herbs and medicine and stuff. And they would talk about taking like Western drugs, which is fine, I don't mind. But I'm like, but you're an herbalist, you're acupuncturist. And I could tell that they didn't really believe in the medicine. And so when they were really sick, they didn't take it. They would go to the doctor, which is fine. I don't care, but it's interesting how you can say one thing, but to really accustom yourself or really habituate yourself to something is very different. So I don't know. All right. Pure white seeds, offering as you die, everything you possess freely to both higher beings and to the benefit of suffering ones, dedicating everything you had without any feeling of possessiveness, and especially feeling no attachment to your body as you die. Panitova, pure white seeds?
Harpo? Sabun?
Yeah, carpal sabum. Good, very good. Destruction. Confessing as you die all the negative deeds you have ever done, deciding that from then on you will never do them again. And if you are a practitioner of the secret teachings, renewing your vows by entering the secret world yourself, or taking a new empowerment in your final hours. Yeah, I stole one of the Lama's tricks when my dad was dying, because both me and Geshe's dad were in war. They were veterans, and he said when his dad died, he basically tricked him into confessing and to purify. He said, "Dad, what about all that stuff you did in war? Would you hurting people? Would you do that again? Do you feel bad about it?" He's like, "Oh yeah, I feel bad. I wouldn't do that again." Confession done. So when my dad was dying, I did the same thing. I was like, "Yeah, father, what about Vietnam? Like, like, do you feel bad about hurting people? He's like, yeah, I feel bad, you know? And I was like, okay, done. You know? So obviously do it yourself. If you can trick some people into it too, that's nice. Okay. Destruction, what's that? Panitova.
Sunjinpa.
What does Sunjinpa literally mean?
Rip out.
Ooh. What does it have connotations of?
Sorry, I don't understand you.
It has connotations of really horrible things like rape. Like it doesn't just mean destroy, it means like like totally like thrash. Anyway, don't worry about it. Prayer. To pray not that you yourself might go to a Buddha realm, but rather that in dying you could take all the pain and bad deeds and spiritual obstacles of other living beings, and to pray as well that you might be able to reach the real wish for enlightenment. Okay, this is advanced trick. All right? Don't try it unless you feel advanced. Seriously. If you're really suffering, like having a really hard time, uh, which if you're a yogi, you will, okay? Um, sometimes, I fight it for a while, then I'm like, you know what? I was like, just give me the rest of the pain too. Why not? I'm already in horrible pain. I'll take all the rest, you know? Uh, and it's powerful. It's a powerful antidote, ironically, to want to take the pain of the world away. Because you can't not go to a Buddha paradise. Okay? If you have the seeds, you will go. But the idea is that you want to help people in the deepest way. It is said that, oh, what's prayer, Miss Panitova?
Menlam.
Yeah, Munlam, good. Perfect. It is said that if possible, one should lie down and pass on as Lord Buddha did, quietly resting on one's right side, thinking of what will bring good to others. This is cherishing the act. Yeah, there's this whole pose like this. You see the Buddha statues, like kind of like Mike right now. There, don't move, Mike. Yeah, like that. The Buddha statues in Thailand, you ever see him? And he's like this, like laying down. Uh, those because that's how he went into his final nirvana. Okay, when the Buddha passed from this world, he went like this. He laid like that. So there's a practice to try to lay like that. I tried it when I did this course. It's annoying. You can't really rest, and your elbow is pointy, so you're like, and then I tried it against the wall, and I was like, okay, maybe if I lean, but it hurts. Your wrist starts hurting because it's not used to your big fat head. So I'm like, ugh, I'm like, my wrist, my elbow. So I did it for like 10 minutes and then went to bed. Geshe talks about doing it too. I don't know. You should try. Don't hurt yourself. All right. Number 4. All right, Panitova. Tibetan master, read this.
Explain one by one the next 4 lines of the root text briefly. All Dharma comes down to a single point. There are two judges. Keep the main one. Be joy alone in an unbroken stream. It's there when you can keep it unsinking.
Yeah. Well, having a student like Panitova, I understand how Geshe feels. You want to be happy that they know so much, but it's also annoying because then they know everything. So don't worry, I'll figure some stuff out you don't know. So all Dharma comes down to a single point. Karma and emptiness. There are two judges, keep the main one. Do good deeds. Be joy alone in unbroken stream. Don't lose your joy. It's there when you can keep it unthinking. Understanding emptiness. Emptiness is always there. Mm. Read this, Panitova.
The single point means that all Dharma comes down to working against the tendency to cherish oneself. The two judges are oneself and others. The main judge of how your practice is going is yourself. The main judge of whether something is Dharma is whether it helps fix the mental afflictions or not. The judge of whether your practice of Dharma is successful is whether or not your mental afflictions get less.
Done. Nothing else matters. Okay? Seriously. Uh, it's my karma to see practitioners thinking a lot and not practicing. It's trash. It's worthless. There's a thinking stage. You should think. You should contemplate. You should be logical. And then immediately take it into action. Immediately. You don't have time. People die every day. You have no idea how much time you have. You have a great opportunity. You don't even have to come to a teaching anymore. You just sit at home in your underwear and listen to Geshe or me or whoever give teachings. Do you know how powerful that is? Or anyone, or any Lama, or anything. You could listen to the amount of teachings on the knowledge base, you could listen to Geshe Michael speak for days without end, right? But is that what you do? No. You're on Netflix. Be joy alone means that if you do not get some money, don't have a lot of worries about keeping it or making it more. If you don't get any money, don't make yourself unhappy looking for it. Whether good or bad things happen to you, turn it into a path of Dharma. If something really bad happens, look carefully into why it came and don't be unhappy. All right? This is Kadampa. They are the most hardcore, okay? They are like I don't know, first generation practitioners are usually the most hardcore. If you get your religion from your parents or something, usually those people aren't that hardcore. Okay? People who are hardcore are people who take up a practice that their whole culture doesn't know about and they work hard, right? Um, and so yeah, you have to go. There was times when I had no money, practice the Dharma with no money. Ask Nick. I had to borrow his car. I had nothing. I had a piggy bank. I had to break open to buy money for the bus pass so I could pay to go see Geshe or help Geshe in Phoenix, which is, I don't want to bash Phoenix, but Phoenix is horrible. Okay, it's horrible. All right, I had nothing, but I just practiced. I just did my ACI. I just meditated. I just taught. And one day, Geshe-la's like, "You want a translator job?" I'm like, "Yes, get me out of this hell." He's like, "Okay, okay, okay." The last line means that your practice of Lojong is successful when, like a skilled horse rider, you do it well even without thinking. It has become completely natural, and if someone suddenly yells at you or even hits you, you automatically recall yourself and never react negatively. I don't do this all the time, okay? It's hard. But someone did hit me. They punched me right in the face. And I just was like, all my Dharma just kicked in. Master Shantideva was right in my head. And I was like, thank you, Geshe. But it was just Master Shantideva in my head. Like, and I just helped them as I could. And they were really mad, but I don't know. All right. Number 5. Daria, what are you doing?
I'm listening.
Read this.
What does the root text mean when it say, figure out both and free yourself?
Yeah, I don't know what that one means. You read it. I can guess, but we're running out of time. Read this.
Mhm. It means first to study how you got mental affliction in the past, which ones are problem for you, what kinds of thoughts feed them off, and what kinds of people or objects in kite them
Incite them.
inside them. Then study how you are going to avoid this in the future, even the smallest ones.
Yeah. Yeah, especially if your practice of karma and emptiness is not that strong. Just avoid certain people. All right. This is one of my jobs. I help people with their mental afflictions, and we figure out strategies for um changing how they live to more effective ones so that they can um you know further their practice faster. It just takes some skill. You got to be smart about it. All right. Thanks, Daria. Loan, read number 6, please.
Yes. What does the root text mean when it says, stop thinking about how wonderful you are?
Probably because you're not that wonderful. Read this.
Yes. It
Давайте
means
прочитаем.
don't think. You are so
Это
great
означает,
just because you are fulfilling your duty of serving others.
это
You
означает, что
never
человек
stop.
звучит,
One little being desperately
этот
keeps
человек не думайте,
your
что вы
head
настолько велики только потому,
head.
что вы понесете свой долг в служении
And
другим.
two, you have
Помните, что живые
already
существа отчаянно
sworn
нуждаются в вашей
to
помощи.
help them.
И
So
уже
just
поклялись
do
помочь им
it.
так что просто сделайте это.
Yeah. Don't be thinking you're all great because you
Не
held the
думайте,
door
что
open for
вы
some old
уже
lady, okay?
прекрасны, чтобы открыть двери старушки.
It's your job, okay?
Это ваша работа.
All right, cool. Last one.
Хорошо, следующий вопрос.
Thanks, Loan. I'll just read it.
Спасибо вам. Я
7.
прочитаю.
What does the root text mean when it
7.
says don't expect
Что означает,
any things? Oh yeah, this is the
когда
worst.
текст
It means don't
не
expect
жду
anything.
благодарности?
It means
Точнее, не ждать.
if living beings
Если вы, как живое существо,
understood to thank you,
понимаете,
they would already be
как
bodhisattvas that were doing it.
благодарность,
The reason they don't thank you is because they don't
что если они
understand
говорят, не
that they're
благодарите, не
suffering or what's
благодарят
going to
нас,
happen to them in the
то,
first
что
place.
они страдают.
That's like expecting my 2-year-old to
Это
thank
то, что
me
понимаешь,
for
что
paying the
как двухлетний
rent.
ребенок, который должен поблагодарить меня.
She doesn't even know what rent
Это
is, much
нет,
less. All
вы
right?
должны меньше
Do your Lojong practice without expecting any
подумайте,
help,
ложок не ждать
any
твоего
good words
помощи,
from
добрых
others, or
слов от
any thought
окружающих,
of reputation
или
or
мысли о
fame.
репутации себе, или славе.
Okay? And if you get a little bit of
Хорошо?
thanks,
Если вы подумаете, если вы получите немного благодарности, тогда
then it's fine. But if you
это
expect some
нормально.
things,
Но если вы прям ожидаете
you're
чего-то,
going to be very disappointed.
тогда вы разочаруетесь.
I have a 2-year-old and teenagers. They're just
У
like,
меня есть двухлетний тинейджер, он такой,
gimme, gimme,
дай мне,
I want.
я хочу.
I'm like, you're happy I'm Buddhist?
Я очень счастлив, что я буддист.
I've never hit my kids.
Я не ударяю своих детей.
I know. Mike, do you ever see that Chris Rock? People always talking about what they happy about stuff they're supposed to do. Do you remember that one? I'm not in jail.
Люди
You're
делают
not
все, когда
supposed to
они
be in
делают.
jail.
Ты не тетя,
Sorry. All right, I'm gonna go.
извините. Мне нужно идти.
Everybody have a good day.
Всем хорошего
Sorry I'm a
вечера.
little late. I have to do things for my
Извините,
kids in
что
the
я так
morning,
поздно.
so
Мне нужно
if I'm a
было
little
делать
late, that's why.
уроки с детьми.
Take care,
Немножко
everybody.
пришло позже. Берегите
Bye.
себя. И пока.
Thank you.
Thank you, translators.
Спасибо.